G'day guys, another repair. This is a genuine 4500 and it came with this note on it. So I don't think it went to Minelab, but I think it went to a dealer. I don't know. I haven't asked the customer. David took this job in and he has said, see if you can fix it. There's probably going to be a fair bit wrong with it, but I can see something obvious. And I'll just move all this out of the way. Try and get some light on here. You can see in here. Okay. That there was a MOSFET there. And the worst thing is, and I don't know how it occurred, whatever, but the gate connection is missing. The pad has been made gone. That's the top left-hand corner. There is no gate pad. And there's also another MOSFET connection in the bottom left-hand corner that also is non-existent. And another thing too, I'll get my pokey pointer. It's if you ever want to repair these things, right? This one here, this device, well, I'm holding the camera by hand. So yeah, this device here with that heat sink pad is for the long pulse that comes out at 5 volts, but it's extended duration, and thus it needs to be a pretty hefty device. This central pad here connects to these through plates, which some look a little bit burned actually, and that goes through to the capacitor, the same as this, but it's under the board. It's just a mirror image. Good night, Dada. Good night. Yep, that's how late it is here, and I've been doing these things, these boards. This device here, which is for the 15-volt pulse, that one, it's got a bit of the Minelab repair paint it white stuff around it. I've seen this before on boards that have come back from Minelab, but their dealers may do it also. I don't know. And that's been replaced as well by the look of it. But it's been a bit of a hack job done here. The piece in the middle here, which is a heatsink connection, actually has been lifted from the board. You can't really see here, but it's actually, you can, it's all bubbled up in the middle. So I don't know what's happened there, and can I fix that? Possibly. The other thing too, it's got this new 200 volt capacitor put on the board, but I had a look under here. It's had a bit of work done under the board. Let's have a look-see. I'll turn it around like so, get a bit of light on it. Oops, there we go. There's that capacitor. Sorry, that's capacitors on the brain. That is the high-speed diode. That MOSFET that's no longer there connects to this diode under the board. Okay, we get onto this device. There's those through plates there. What I'm saying, see how it goes under there. You can just see the track there goes to that diode. So they're the through plates from that power part of the board. Okay, now I get my bearings here. Now this is why I don't think it was Minelab did this. I mean, look at the soldering job, and have a look in the hole there. Where's my stick? This is hard to do, you know. There we go. It's not even connected. The capacitor's fallen short. Yeah, I don't know what that is. And yeah, it's got a lot of flux. left on the board also. You know, I'm a bit guilty of that too on occasion, but yeah, that's been pretty crispied. It's hard as a rock. And something else, yes, it's had one of the capacitors on the 5 or 15 volt rail soldered. I love that. No, oh, it's solder. And it's getting pretty close there to tracking out onto this device. They've actually soldered across onto it. Yeah. So it's had a bit of a fiddle. And I think there was something else I noticed too. Whatever it was that, and something else was oh, here you can see the white paint here, the touch up. That's been redone there. Obviously, it's had the cable ties replaced because the original ones are usually white. I've never seen anything different. And the rest of it looks pretty clean. So yeah, this was a fix-it that had to happen. You see the white, different color white paint around these capacitors. Now this is only, I'm going to say this right, but it's obvious. This is only hearsay, right? I don't know for sure. But if you have a look at the board, there's a lot of capacitors that have been replaced. Is it these ones? I need to actually look, not through there. Here we go. Yeah. These. I was too far down. That's got white paint, that new white paint on it. That one, that one, that one, and that one, and that one. And rumor tells me that a lot of these 4500s went out with wrong capacitors in them. So if you got a noisy 4500, it's probably the reason why. If we go down here, there's a series of them. There's one there that's been replaced. And that one there. And I think someone sent me an engineering bulletin on this as well. They sent me an engineering bulletin. Oh, look at this one. Of the fix-it round here. With the added resistor or diode or whatever it was. And yeah, you usually have a telltale cut track and solder around here. This one hasn't got it. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else. I think that's just dirty, that one. So it looks a little bit different color, but I think it's just dirt. But yeah, these caps, I think they're these ones have to be changed. These ones here, I think I mentioned it before. I don't know why the paint's up here. Maybe it's also here. Was there a bigger capacitor change that I don't know about? Were these wrong as well? Don't know. Don't know. I don't think anyone is ever going to tell me, because that would be admitting to things, wouldn't it? So I don't know. I don't know. That's definitely all been touched up. It's a bit thin on that one, but anyway, I've seen this stuff before. It comes back on repaired units. Yeah, that's a bit dirty, but that's nothing. Dirt gets into these things, and sometimes it just migrates onto particular parts of the board. But anyway, what I've got to do, I have to replace that blown up MOSFET. Now, when I had a look to actually get the correct part, obsolete, no longer made, right? And it's a pretty hefty component. So what I'm going to do on there, it may have other faults in this detector, so I'm going to have to go on a digging expedition. But I've done this before and it's successful because it never came back. It kept working. I know the guy still got the detector. I've got a FDS 2670 MOSFET. Oh, in the packet here anyway, if you want to look. There we go. That thing, FDS 2670. Can't really see, can you? But they are just a little SOIC 8 packet MOSFET, wherever it is. Where are you? I have to zoom right out. I don't know what I'm bloody looking at. There they are. See them in there? No, it's a bit shiny, but anyway, it's a little SOIC 8 leg thing. I'm gonna piggyback these two together, right? I've done this before to handle the current, but I really have to be careful with the way I do the heat sinking. The reason being is that if I don't sort of heat sink them very, very much the same, one's going to hoggle the current, and it could cause an issue. But I've got my ways. I've got my ways of fixing these. Anyway, I'll zoom out again. It's too painful. So the back of the board, the display board, and those blue things, people think they're potentiometers. They're actually rotary encoders, if you ever want to know. It's an Atmel chip sitting there. So as far as I know, it's a genuine. Yeah, it's a genuine one. There's a lot of people making them out of some obscure country and actually writing GPX4500 on them, and that's a no-no. You know, that's a complete blatant rip-off. So I'm going to hoe into this, for a better term, and see how I go. But yeah, I'm just intrigued about that capacitor there. It's not connected. Oh dear me. Could that have caused it to blow up? I don't know. But obviously that is a new electrolytic capacitor, as it hasn't got any white paint on it. So we spin it around and have a look. We might be able to read some numbers off it. It's 200 volt, 220 microfarads. And positive goes to the outside of the board. Now remember, that thing there can zap you a beauty, so be careful with that. Don't touch those, right? Don't touch any part of the board, and can't remember which one it is, that one or that one. I think it's this one. It'll zap you through the board. So yeah, I've done it on an SD2000. I've also done it on something else too. I think it might have been a 3000 or something. And I remember the 2000. My God, the bleeder resistors had gone open circuit, unknown to me. And I picked it up to flip it around, and I put my hand right across the bloody capacitor. And yeah, like I say, I nearly did a backflip off the chair. I actually had to check if my heart was still going. It really kicked a punch. It's a lot of energy. It's about 190 volts, 220 microfarads. Yeah, it's a good whack of current there. It's quite dangerous, so take care playing with these detectors. That's the bitey bit. So if you ever muck around, just don't touch that area. All around here, this area here, that's all floating, and it roughly has 190 volts, 185 volts or whatever on all these components. Don't touch it unless you know it's discharged. And the best way to do, I get a pair of needle nose pliers, and I just zap that capacitor. Anytime I work on these, I just put it across the terminals. You'll hear it go crackle, crackle, pop as it fully discharges. Just make sure it's discharged. Just put the points through the white paint over the terminals. Sometimes that white paint falls off, and sometimes you can have a little bit of metal sticking through, and you'll think it's safe. It's not safe. You'll get zapped. Yeah, so it's happened to me on a couple of occasions. Just be very wary of that. And the rest of it's pretty safe. You know, you could get belted off the back EMF too, from the coil after the transmit pulses. If you're touching in here, even touching on the MOSFET legs or anything like that, it can give you a belt. That thing there, watch out for that. Not necessarily the middle leg, but the one closest to the edge of the board. that can give you a whack in relation to that. So if you get across the leg here, on the closest side of the board, on the closest to the side of the board here, and touch the top part, like if you just pinched it with your bang, you'll get a shock and a half off that. Just be wary. Anything that has a return off that 200-volt line, be wary. Anyway, I might see if I can do a part 2 of this, see if I get it going, but I've got to do some tricks to see if I can get this going, and wish me luck. See how I go. Catch us.